Oh.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good
Hello.
evening. Right before midnight. Hey,
Mhm.
Trouble. Indigo Sunshine.
Whoa, sorry.
Oh. What? Indigo.
Hello.
Indigo Sunshine and Trouble. Hey, Fancy. Hello, Fancy. Fancy Schmancy. Fancy Schmancy up in the house, too.
Mhm.
How was your day? How was your day?
Busy grocery shopping and all that fun stuff.
Big birthday milestone.
Yes, my youngest turned 21
Happy
today,
birthday
and
again.
yeah,
Mhm.
we had a
Mhm.
we had him a steak dinner, and he doesn't like traditional birthday cake, so he wanted a strawberry cheesecake, so that's what I made him.
Mm, I bet it was good.
Mhm. Was. What'd you do today? I know what you did.
I know. Went to a baby shower for my grandson.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we found out that he will be coming early.
Right.
So we'll be able to see him 2 to 3 weeks earlier than we thought. Unless she goes into labor before then.
Right.
So, yeah. But he's measuring really big. Um, yeah. So can't wait for him to get here, though.
So
Whew.
exciting. Number
Oh, I know.
3.
I know. Like, oh, can't wait to see what he looks like. Hey, Ann, Crystal, how are you? Hey, Delia Whoopo.
I bet he looks just like his sister.
He does. Well, from that ultrasound, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Same nose and everything. I said, oh, we'll see. We'll see. And of course, was full of herself tonight. I tell you what, she
I
was full of
bet.
herself. And she didn't want us to leave. She went running after.
Aw.
She was trying to go. She's like, no, go, Jaya.
Aw.
Well,
Miss him.
her cousin got to go home with us. His birthday's tomorrow, the big
Right.
2. So
Oh
we got
my
to wake
goodness.
we get to wake up with him on his birthday morning. So that's cool.
Yes.
And he was all, oh, you know,
I saw him trying to kill some frogs tonight.
yeah, he sure was. That was the biggest frog jumping up around. I said, oh my goodness. And I'll tell you what, my dog's got a hold of some little. Okay, let's not dogs. Maple got a
Yeah.
hold of some moles, and little man kept calling them rats.
Uh-huh.
And he told me, I don't know if you heard that or not. I don't know if I told you. He ended up telling me this morning, I guess it was, that he's like, Mom, he says they got another rat out there. I said, what? And I said, that's a mole, honey. He goes, oh, well, the other one they had, he kept calling it a rat. He goes, I took care of that, Mom. I buried it.
Bless
Oh,
his heart.
I knew he buried that
He is
thing.
the sweetest soul ever put on this
Mhm.
earth.
I'm telling you, he's burying that rat.
Mm.
Then they came up with another one, and he's like, "Where?" He goes, "They must have dug it up, Mom. I don't know how they did that." And I said, "No, baby, they just got another one." He goes, "Where do they keep finding these rats?"
Ah, oh my god.
Oh, just try to
I
explain
could
it to him.
I could listen to him talk all day.
He's funny. I was like, "Oh my word."
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay. But now, of course, He was asking all kinds of questions about the baby shower.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
think
take
he
little
knew.
lady with you?
No,
Okay.
we didn't take any of the kids.
Yeah.
We no, did it mom and dad only because we have the birthday party tomorrow,
Right.
and that's going to be an all day thing. Ooh, ooh. Hey, Patty Duke. Hello, I'm new here. Hey, Fancy, you want to go and send Jenna a message that we're live, so when she gets off work, she can pop in if she wants.
I think she's off, isn't she?
Well, I don't know if she had to work until real late tonight, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know how late it'll go. Don't know how late it will go. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Delia Wupu, my grandson will be 2 tomorrow. He's going to be 2, the big 2. And I was trying to explain to my daughter, it's like 2 was really hard for me when all my babies turned 2.
Yeah.
It just tugged at my heart because it just kind of that baby stage is officially over,
I know. I looked at him tonight and thought, man, he looks like a little boy, not a baby.
I know. But he still gets up, he got up there today. He cuddled up with me because he was tired, but he didn't want to go to sleep just yet.
Right.
He still had plenty of things to go do, and they had the bounce house. And because they got a bunch of little ones, they're all like 2 and under. And,
Mhm.
so they were in there. And I tell you what, both my grandbabies stayed on that thing. Oh, my word. I said, they're going to sleep really good tonight. They even made Papa get in there. He got in there with them for a little bit.
Where do they have a bounce house at?
Out in the backyard of the baby shower.
Oh, okay. Well, that's neat.
Yeah. Well, because, my granddaughter, she's 2 and she was going to be there. And my
Right.
daughter knew that all her friends that had little ones, she's like, we got to give something for him to do. Now, there's a newborn baby, just a couple weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
I got to hold him. So
Oh my goodness.
he didn't go in the bounce house though.
Well, I hope not. Mm.
Oh, Patty Duke. Oh, did you really? You read that comment, Charlie girl?
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart, if anything, if she was nasty to you about it. But thank you for promoting our channel. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, Purple probably would not appreciate that. Um, I'm not gonna try to be mean or anything, but it is what it is. It's okay. But we appreciate you attempting, and like I said, I'd apologize if you got any kind of backlash over it. Hopefully not, but mm, yeah, I don't want to. Oh man, I was thinking about that video clip. See, Jenna should be up here. She could play it.
Which
Um,
one?
that you already know which one. I could not stop laughing over. I said, "Oh my God, this lady comes into the door. There's police out there, and he broke my window. Which window did he break out? And it's obviously the front door, and
She
falls
goes
through
to
it.
push open the screen door where the glass used to be, and her hand just kept going,
Well, her
and then
hand
her whole
followed.
body.
Yeah, her body followed the hand. she,
Mm-hmm.
she just laid there. She didn't even try to get up. He's like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She goes, "I'm just so mad." Well, you just fell
No,
over 2 trees.
he
What
said,
the
well,
heck?
darling, do you need me to call a fire truck for you?
It was funny.
She said,
Oh my
I'm
word.
just so mad.
Oh my word. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Patty Duke. Yeah. Big old two. And his birthday is actually tomorrow, so
Mine
I can't
celebrated
wait.
2-1 today.
Yeah.
Turned
Your son,
2-1.
not
Yes.
your grandson, your son.
No, I don't have any grandbabies yet.
They'll be there. Yep. And Fancy had a new grandbaby born
Yes,
today.
he did. Beautiful baby. Oh
Oh,
my
beautiful.
gosh.
Beautiful little chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Good head of hair.
I kept looking at him in that video, and he's just all sprawled out like, thank God I can spread. I can stretch.
I've got room. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. It's
he
just,
is really, not all newborns are pretty. I mean, we know that. But this baby is
he is.
gorgeous.
He is. He's a cutie patootie.
Hmm.
Oh, there was something I was going to say. Now I don't remember what it is. Darn it. Did you hate that when you forget what you're going to say? I got
Oh,
sidetracked.
she's already in love, I bet.
Of course. As soon as you see them new grandbabies, you already fall in love. I mean, they're just.
So, I told you that one of my Valentine's gifts was that my oldest, they had
Uh-huh.
always said that they didn't want any kids, and they told me on Valentine's that they changed their mind. And so I've caught my daughter-in-law a couple times today. She was looking through baby names,
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she was watching a video of a mother with a newborn. I'm like, okay, this is going to be sooner
Mm.
than what they said.
Could be. Could be. Or she's just really preparing,
Yeah,
Who knows?
I am
What's she
not.
get?
Oh my gosh, my life will be complete when I have a grandbaby. I
Mm-hmm.
just know it.
Oh, yeah. When they come up and they hug you, they just
Hmm.
come over, like little man, he slid down that bounce house and jumped off and ran up and gave me a hug. And then
Oh.
later on, I was sitting out there and he just slid down, came over, gave me a kiss. Oh, okay. Yeah. They get you hot. Oh, I know. I was gonna say, I got to see my son, the one who's in the Navy. I got to
Oh,
see
did
him.
you?
Video chat.
Oh, good.
He was of course shirtless and at the beach.
Well, as he should be.
I said, "Oh my goodness!" Her friend was looking at it. She's like, "Oh man!" And
He
his
gonna be wanting to
dimples.
trade in that cowboy hat and boots for a surfboard.
I don't know. I think he's gonna be hard. Yeah, hard pressed. He was born beachside,
Yeah.
and he loves the beach and stuff. But I don't know. His heart's kind of country, So,
Right.
yeah. But for now, he can trade it in. He's kind of really got no choice,
Right.
You know. But his dimples were just bang. I was like,
Oh,
look
I
at them.
bet.
No, no, no. And a friend of mine we've been friends for a long time, she was there and she was talking to him. She was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe he is grown now, And we were just
Hmm.
talking about all the kids and they're grown and having kids now and moving on with their lives. And it was like, man, was it that long ago? We were all barbecuing and the kids were just running around jumping on the trampoline, and we were going to the kids' school functions and stuff. Just, you know,
Yeah. Don't
yeah,
blink
I
because
know.
it is gone before you know it.
Yeah, it goes so fast. And, but when I had said, look at his dimples, and she goes, yep, they're still just shining like they always have. Look at that. They haven't gone away. So that's what the girls love. But I do find it really, really funny because um, our brother had dimples like that, or when he passed away from a drug overdose. And I've always said that's where he got the dimples from, which our grandma had dimples as well.
Yeah.
And it's just funny to me because I see the dimples, and then our brother who just passed away, he has his hands like
Right.
mirror image of his hands. Even when there's a certain way that my brother would rest his hand and his pointer finger
Mm-hmm.
went, you know, and my
Right.
son's does the same thing, you know. So I love that because he is named after both of them, and he's got their,
Oh,
you know,
that's cool.
yeah. I love that. So it's cool. It was nice to see him out there too.
Right.
He kind of came to the shower,
Right.
a little bit, little bit. Right. Yeah. We're sitting there waiting for the birthday party tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Where's it gonna
uh,
be?
at a friend's house. They're over there all decorating it tonight and stuff. So
Yeah.
I really hope that there was a lot of decorations, and not just like one or two balloons,
Mm-hmm.
because then I will know that they left for the bar early.
Right.
Because my daughter said, I said, man, you know, we have our grandson, and I said, man, you know, they have to go over and putting up decorations. And she looked at me and she goes, Mom, you know, they're going to end up at the bar. You know, they're going to go to the club or something, you know. And I was like, well, you know, I mean, they're all old enough, you know.
Right.
So I was like, well, let's hope they decorate real well before they go. We'll see.
Right. We'll see who comes in wearing sunglasses.
Oh, yeah, I know. Who makes it to the party on time?
Right.
Those are the days. I don't, you know, I don't do that anymore. You
I
know,
didn't do a whole lot of that. I just wasn't interested.
I didn't do a whole lot, but I did enough. And I, you know, my friends and I got some stories.
Right.
The mailman,
Mm-hmm.
there's the mailman story. My friend and I mean, I may or may not have been 21. I think at the time that this happened, I was. Um, Either way, um, we had gone to this place, and so this guy asked her, he was, you know, a country bar. She's dancing with him, you know, and
Hi,
he,
Lori.
he said, "Hey, Lori," asks, you know, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I'm a nurse." And he's like, "Oh," he says to her, "You, you want to go? We could play nurse and doctor, or nurse and patient. And I'll be the patient." And she looks at him and says, "Oh, that's like me asking, you know, if you want to play mailman. I don't think so." And she ends up, you know, walking away, and she comes over to tell me, and I was like, I'm cracking up, and I was like, "So was he a mailman?" She goes, "Oh yeah, he was."
Oh, Lord.
It just cracked me up though. I always tease her about that. I was like, "Hey, you haven't had any mailmen try to pick you up at the bar, have you?"
What is that, Fancy?
Mm. Oh no. What illness is it? Oh gosh. Tell us, Fancy. Hey, Christy.
Hi,
Tell us,
Christy.
Fancy. What is
Hi,
it? What is
everybody.
it? Oh, it's dreadful. Oh no. What is it?
Oh, my goodness.
Fancy. Now, is that look? Is that a, I knew it was going to be something. Is that a virus, or is that an autoimmune disorder or a bacteria?
I don't know. It's so
Yeah,
new. I'm
and
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I thought you thought she was being serious. I kind of wondered. I thought, I don't think she's being serious.
Yep,
And you,
studies are ongoing.
oh, okay. Slashimoto's.
Patty gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like a disease going around. Oh, that was bad.
I think she cut herself.
Oh, you really shouldn't do that. Really shouldn't do that.
Uh,
Don't be cutting yourself on a live. Come on. That's bad. Either way. Either way. Um, so we got that birthday party tomorrow. And it just so happened, because where we had the baby shower at today is the in-laws, right?
mm-hmm.
And they have, because we have the grandbabies. They have, like we do, we have toys for them.
Right.
And so there's this little four-wheeler, little toddler four-wheeler,
Mm-hmm.
and my granddaughter gets on it, and my son says to me, he goes, "Mom, every time I look at her, she's stuck on something." she just, she, she'd hit the flower bed, and she would stop pushing the button, and she'd look at me, and she'd hit the button like, "Yeah, yeah, what's it doing?" It was like, golly day. She was just constantly like run it. She ran it into a tree. I was like, hold up. And then so we look over, and my husband's like, "Hey, this is awesome because look at he's riding it. Your grandson, he's on there. He's riding it. He does great on it, right?" And I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." And he goes, "Yeah, that's great for the gift you got him." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's right. That's exactly what we got him a couple months ago." And it's a little 6 volt. He definitely doesn't need anything other than
Right.
that. Don't need to go real fast because we'd have to get him a motorcycle helmet and
Mm-hmm.
some kind of evil Knievel outerwear.
Tie a
And
safety chain to the back of it.
yeah, and possibly a flag so that we could find him. And and he's like, "Oh, we got to make sure we got to go home and we got to put the battery, charge it so it's ready for him tomorrow because he's going to want to ride it, not
Oh
have it
yeah.
in the box." And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh yeah," and I had just not really pieced the two together that that's what I had got him because I got it a couple months ago on sale. It was on clearance.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $29. And
Wow.
I looked at my husband and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get this." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
For little man?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What, for his birthday?" Because Christmas had just passed. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "Yeah." you know. So and it's Sonic the Hedgehog is on it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But for $29,
Good
I'm
for
not gonna,
you.
worry about what's on it.
I'd
He's just gonna
love
have
to see little ones on those.
He was so cute riding that one today, and I was like, I wanted just to, you know what, we'll put it together, which he had to put together. Um, he put it together. He's charging the battery, and I said, we'll stop on the way and get a couple balloons, and then tie it to it and set it out. Maybe get a bow.
Mm-hmm.
That way he's not opening a box and being like, my husband's like, he's gonna look at it and be like, what the heck? Give me a box, you know?
What do you think
Like,
little
"Yeah."
lady's gonna think? I mean, do
Oh,
you think she'll want
she's.
to ride it? Is it
Oh
big enough
yeah.
for both of them to ride at the same time?
No, but they're really good about sharing.
Yeah.
We've got one here that they put a big long rope on,
Mm-hmm.
um, because the thing doesn't work anymore, and they pull each other around. And it's a little pink. It's a little girl in pink and like
Yeah.
princess something or whatever.
I just
And
figured since today she rode one, she might think tomorrow that, you know.
oh yeah, she'll be riding it. She'll be fine. But they're really good about sharing because the one that we have, they pull each other around by the rope. I tell them, don't go real fast. Oh, good golly, because she's going to be the roller coaster rider for sure.
Yeah.
She is,
Daredevil.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They got a Polaris that they got the sport one. They go mud and stuff in. She loves it. And she's got to go. You know, the faster you can go, the happier she is. So,
Does she like to ride the Can-Am?
oh yeah, yeah. She's like the dog Rainy here. Jumps up there and looks at you and it's like, ride, ride, Papa, ride. So you have to take her out for a ride. She's happy. She's happy. She's like, oh yeah. And she loves to be outside, and it's sad because she's like her mama, blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale. Sunscreen her up.
I understand that.
I had to get the sunscreen.
And I had cousins that could just stand in the house and look at the sun and turn brown. Not
Yeah,
me.
you burn like a crisp too.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And
Burn like a little tater.
my oldest, he took after me. He's very fair skinned, and he told me one day. He said, "Thanks, Mom, for having a kid with a pigment deficiency." I'm like, "You're welcome."
You handed it down. You handed it down.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you go on all the roller coasters. I only like
Uh-oh.
to do certain ones, and
The
I
last
just.
time I was on a ride that I used to ride when I was younger, we went to the fair. This is probably about 5 years ago, and they had the Gravitron.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Yeah, the Gravitron, where you get in, it looks like a spaceship, and you get in, and it goes so fast that the gravity pulls you to the. Well, I got in that thing, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I used to ride this all the time when I was a kid, and I started having chest pain. And I was like,
Oh.
oh my God. I started praying. I was like, if you just let me get off of this alive, I'll never do it again. And I haven't. I had no
Mm mm
desire to
mm
do anything like that again.
mm mm mm. No, there was one we were at. I think it was Busch Gardens. Trying to remember if it was. Yeah, it was Busch Gardens, and I opted not to go because we were in line, waiting, and people were getting off of the roller coaster, and they were met by employees of the park, and they had to go and buy them clothing. They had to give them clothing from their stores
Oh.
because somebody on there had apparently ate.
Oh.
Oh, and I just looked. I said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do this because my luck, I'll end up getting in the seat that they. No, I'm not doing it."
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm sure they cleaned it or whatever. I don't know. I just nope. I mean, they got puked on.
Oh God.
Oh, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
It is really a wonder that people don't that doesn't happen more often than it does.
Yeah, I think it does. I think the worst one was we were up in Cedar Point in Ohio,
Mhm.
and there's a grown man. He was on that ride, and I swear, they probably had to call the hospital. They probably had to call a 5150 on him, put him in a white jacket, and take him away when that ride was over, because he was going through that whole park. You could see him when he came around. They came down this hill, and then it's called the corkscrew. Came around, and you
Oh
could hear
Lord.
him coming, and he was screaming the whole way, frantically screaming, "Mommy, mommy!" It was like,
Ah.
oh my gosh, is this guy like what's going on? And he comes by, and it's an older guy. And, it wasn't a kid, and it did not appear that he was joking. Okay, because it was like he was panicked. And you could
Wow.
see him, he was beet red, and I thought, this dude's gonna have a heart attack or something. Who let
Mhm.
him on that, you know? Oh, fancy.
Or
Yeah,
fancy or twerking.
twerking.
Working, lurking, or twerking.
Yeah, and it made me say, I'm not going on that one. The guy's screaming for his mommy, and he's older. He was balding. He had thinning hair on top, you know, very receding hairline. And I said, they're gonna have to help him out. I think he scared the hell out of a lot of people on that ride. Oh my
Mm.
goodness. I know my mom would never go on the roller coasters.
Mm-mm.
You
It's
avoided lurking anywhere today, Fancy? Well, good. I didn't have time to lurk anywhere, so we had a long day. I had to hit the floor running. Hit the floor running. Cool. And my husband was rushing me to, come on, we gotta go. And I'm almost done. Just let me,
right.
I don't take that long to get ready. Yeah, but tomorrow's gonna be pretty crazy and hectic with the party and all the kids, all the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, you step away 5 minutes and shit changes up on these streets. Uh-oh, Fancy. What changes up? Yeah, you're right. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there.
I don't know. I don't get into the the drama. I just I think it's unnecessarily putting yourself through something, you know?
Yep, yep. And people try to drag you into it. What do you do?
Mhm.
Yeah, we learned our lesson on that. So,
Yeah.
especially when it's drama you hadn't done nothing for.
Mhm.
We are the drama lately. I know, Fancy. I know. Well, not anymore. We've stepped away from it. I'm not doing it. You can drama all on your own if you want. I'm not doing it. But you know, hey, I
You
stand
do
by what I
you.
said. That's right. If we want to sit here and laugh about something and think that it's funny, well, maybe you should sit back and look at some of the things that happen and do see how ridiculous they are. It's funny. I'm sorry. It's funny when someone slashes up a blank canvas. It is.
This
It's
would
like,
have had
oh,
your face on it.
it's funny. I'm sorry. You got to see the humor in it, or you're gonna go crazy.
Mhm.
Oh, you and Ella. Oh, I'm so sorry. The two of you are so innocently caught up in something. You know, Fancy. Last I heard, you guys were bringing the drama to our doorstep.
Yep.
You darkened our doorstep with it. Mm-mm-mm. No, I'm not getting talking. No, look, Ann, nobody's gonna be talking to me about any of it. I promise you that. Nobody, in
Well,
order
they
to
can
talk to
talk,
someone,
but we
don't.
ain't nobody gonna hear it.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, ain't nobody listening. Mm-hmm. I don't. No. Hey, Magpie. You didn't do anything today, Magpie. You know you did by just coming in here. Now somebody's gonna have something to say about that. I'm sure. Charlie girl, you could do it.
I could do what?
Magpie.
No.
You don't want to be the official caller.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Fucking magpie.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you didn't do anything today, Magpie. Oh yeah, see, you're right. You commented somewhere you're probably gonna get hung out to dry, honey. I'm sorry. It's the way of the streets, man. Way of the streets. Thug life. Magpie running around living the thug life, man. Hmm. I don't know. I hadn't had time to catch up on anything going on the YouTube streets anywhere today. Yes, that's true. That's true. I'm still just caught up on the fact that there's a box cutter on your bed. I mean, I don't know.
It's a premeditated slashing, I think.
Yeah, I would venture to say. Or, like I said, it'd be crazier to think it's not.
Hmm.
That would be sad. That would be really sad. Just saying. It would be sad. Well, I'm really trying to figure out what the heck happened to old Miss Jenna over there. She must really be working late.
I don't think they'd still be open this late, would they?
No. No, she should be home by now. I hope she's okay. Hopefully she all right. Maybe busy though, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. We're just like I said, just busy, busy, busy today. So much to do. Oh, you know what? That's what I was gonna do. I need to talk with Fancy because I was thinking about there's a couple of subject matters that I do want to cover that are more serious, that aren't, um, happy, happy, funny, funny kind of thing. But I
Hmm.
need to get with Fancy to do, because we do want to do the suicide awareness,
Right.
and it's really sad because I've run into a lot of people recently here that have experienced it, and it's just kind of jaw dropping to me. I ran into a friend of mine today, and I was talking, and she had mentioned that about her aunt, and I didn't say anything to her about my brother because I don't think she knew. So I didn't say anything. It was just not, to me, it wasn't an appropriate time to bring it up.
Right.
I didn't want to. And and there's been a couple of other people like get to know, just had a very close friend of his that it happened to, and it's just uh, interesting, when you're talking to people and the subject matter, somebody says so and so did this, and it's like, wow, that's really a lot of people are affected by it. So, anyways, I was, that is something that, yes, it's a more serious subject matter, but I do think that it needs to have awareness, and the taboo needs to be taken off of it. Um,
Absolutely.
it is a very real issue. And to me, as much as we've known about it, and it has been discussed here and there, right? It just seems kind of like it's on the rise.
Yeah.
From where I'm sitting, that doesn't mean that it is. It's just from what I'm seeing is it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. And I do feel like it's coupled with mental health and all this. Obviously, you know, um, but just kind of going over and looking at things, and again, it's that mental health crisis, right? Um, but I was thinking because we were talking one night, about the kids. We were talking about adoption, kids and this,
Mhm.
that, and the other, and somebody had said, "Oh, I didn't realize, they didn't realize that Fancy and I had been adopted, and anything like that." And um, we had talked about doing a live, talking about that. We've done a couple before, but we could go more into, a little bit more details about it. Because I do think for us, I definitely think it played a role. Maybe. I don't know. It
Yeah.
may have played a role to where our brother got to the point where he did. Um, both of our
It's
brothers, actually.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing is, drug abuse. And I know that the drug abuse is a very touchy subject as well. It's a lot of taboo, with that. And um, it would be nice to take a little bit off of that too, because ultimately, those that are affected by all of it the most are those who are left behind.
Right.
And that's where I feel like, hey, let's try and get some of this off of there because it may help others, those of us left behind in the wake of all of it, not knowing which way to go and what to do and how to deal with it and process it. I
Right.
still have moments where I don't even know if I've really accepted it all. Um, because I have those moments where I just all of a sudden I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
did that really happen? You
Right.
know? Um, and so and I, my 3 hour drive on the way home the other morning, I had 3 hours to that's where I told you that's where I do all my thinking for because I'm completely alone, you know.
Right.
Um, well, Lily bit, but she doesn't really conversate a whole lot. She just lays there and sleeps. Um, but I was just doing some thinking on that and just like, hey, you know, um, it's a hard one. It is.
It is.
It's there's other things that like my mom passing. It's cancer, and it's easier to talk about because it's there's no judgment attached with that, right?
Right.
Usually, but even with that, like if you saw somebody had lung cancer, like, oh, they were a smoker.
Right.
Wait a minute, hold on, Um, either way, I think taking it's just I don't know, it's just a difference from where I sit. That doesn't mean that everybody else feels that way. It's just that I know that's where I sit. Is it's like, ooh, and at this point, I just don't even I don't talk about it to
Right.
pretty much anybody. Um, talk to my husband or my kids if they mention it or if they want to say something, but um, oh, look. It said, let me see. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband. They do box cutting every right out there. Everyone. Yeah, Magpie. Somebody let Jenna know don't go out the house.
Maybe that's what she's doing. She's laying low.
Wives with box cutters. The real YouTube wives. Yeah, exactly, Magpie. You don't yeah, and 20 years later, oh, see, Magpie, it is. I do think that it's when you don't see it coming, it is really hard. And that's where I do sit and I go, whoa, like, because everybody we talked to, nobody saw it. Everybody was in shock,
Right.
you know, and it's, what do you do with that? Yeah, I mean, any death is difficult. It always sucks being the one standing there going, oh, okay, you know,
Yeah.
and it's weird because like we had to go through our brother's things,
Hmm.
and it feels that right there. I was just thinking about that the other morning. Was it felt so invasive,
Right.
Um, it did and it didn't. It was like, that it's his things and you know why you're having to do it, but it still at the same time felt like these are, this is our brother's stuff and we shouldn't be messing with it. And I think that's why I have his stuff out. It's still in the garage and I've left it there. I have not touched it since my sister left. And I'm okay with that. And
Right.
I'm thinking I probably do need to go through some of that, and but I've just it's there and it's his
Mhm.
stuff and
Right.
so
The right time will come.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Earth, that's true. I mean, look at Superman's wife. She didn't smoke a day in her life and she still passed from lung cancer.
That's
So,
like my
that's yeah, go ahead.
that's like my husband. He'll be gone 5 years, June 7th, and he died of cancer, so it wasn't a shock. But he told me that he wanted his ashes spread over his favorite fishing hole, and so I told him I would do that, and I've yet to do it. And my excuse for that is I told him I'd do it, but I didn't say when. You know, when
True.
I'm ready, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you gotta,
Until then, he's sitting on my dresser in my bedroom.
yeah. Well, our brother's in my craft room next to my mom.
Mhm.
Because ironically, my dad, I I thought he had said he was going to go and spread her ashes. And that was I said, I'm fine with that. Do what you got to do. Um, and, you know, she loved the mountains and she loved the ocean. And I had said, well, do some on the ocean and, some on the mountains. And to my surprise, when he came out for Christmas last year, he brought her with him and said, here's your
Oh,
mom, here's your mom. And I was like, oh, okay, so I guess he felt that, I needed her here with me.
right.
And I'll discuss it with him later, hey, do you want to do this or that? But
Yeah.
yeah, so they're in there, sitting in there with me when I craft and stuff. And, you know,
I can't think of a more appropriate place for her to be
I know, right? In the
than in
craft
your
room.
craft room
That's where she wants to be. That's where she wants to be.
because every inch of that room that you look, there's something she created,
Hmm.
something that was created in her honor. So it's
Yeah,
just very fitting.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff in there that was hers
Mhm.
that I was blessed to receive. I mean,
Right.
there's all kinds of stuff, and there's still more. There's still more. Like um gonna go out there at some point, and she has her craft desk and shelves, and it's a real
Mhm.
nice glass top, L shape. Where we have pictures. You saw the picture of her sitting there. Remember that's
Mhm.
And my dad's like, "This is yours. We'll just let me know when you want to come get it." And um, we've already gone and spent a couple trips, getting stuff, and we'll have
Right.
to make it out there at some point and get that as well. And I'm excited to have it, because it was hers
Right.
and sit and be able to craft where she used to do a lot of her crafting
Mhm.
and all that stuff.
Right.
So,
She was so talented.
oh, she was. Oh my goodness. There's
You name it, she could do it.
exactly. She would just do anything, and I guess that's where I get it from. Like I
Mhm.
always say, when it comes to crafting, I have ADHD. Like it's bad. It's really bad. It's just
Like,
um,
"Oh, I'm gonna go whip up, a few dozen T-shirts and,
yeah, Yeah, and then it's like, oh, you need what? You need hair bows done? I got you. Oh, you need
Uh-huh.
some jewelry made? I got you. What you need? Oh, you need a floral array? I got you. You want what? Okay. And it comes in real handy. And this is going to sound horrible again too, because anytime the kids have a project or anything for school, like Valentine's Day, making the little Valentine's Day boxes.
Right.
I got you. I got you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Put it together. Projects for school. Um, we did. This big planet solar system thing, and exactly. That sucker was huge. Remember that? It was what,
Oh yeah.
5, 6 feet long
Uh-huh.
and about 3 feet high. And so we had gone out to the shop, we cut it, we put everything together, brought it in, and we made all the planets and painted them and put them on. So between the craft room and the shop, which I do a lot of the stuff out in the shop too, the woodworking and stuff I'll do out there. And yeah, he got a really good grade on that,
Uh-huh.
and his teachers really liked that. So yeah,
It
it comes in
goes
handy for
every
that.
time. Yeah.
It's and of course, um, he had a project he had to do. Same kiddo had a project he had to do, and um, I was out of town, and he went and he did this product. Let me tell you, this project. I was like, oh gosh, oh my goodness, did he do an amazing job?
Aw.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he's like, well, mom, I know you had this, this, and this, and he was 10. And again, he got a fantastic grade on that, and
Oh,
his teachers loved it. And that was all him.
right.
That was all him. And I was just like, ooh, you did good, bud. I mean, but he even put real dirt. It was dinosaurs and stuff, and he even put real dirt in there,
Oh my
rocks and dirt and
goodness.
stuff. Like he did it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did really good on that. Thank you, Earth. Thank you. Yeah, it was a hard one, and I think I'm a little gun shy because tomorrow I'm having to go down to work in the same area that I was at when
Oh,
I got the
really?
call, and I'm staying
Mm.
at the same hotel. So it's probably why I'm a little, I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, please don't let my phone ring at 9:56 p.m. I don't
Right.
want another phone call like that. Now, granted, we're 4 months out, but just kind of like, oh, and I didn't even think about it until after the reservations for the hotel was made, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the same hotel. Crap,
Mm.
you know. So hopefully it'll yield better results this time, you know.
Right.
But thank you, Earth. Yeah, and Magpie, if you're still listening, I'm sorry about whatever loss it was you had 20 years ago. It's never. I don't think it ever gets any
Um,
easier.
your brain learns how to cope with it, but
Yeah,
your heart stays the same.
you learn how to live with that.
Yeah.
You know.
Your new normal.
Yeah, it's a norm that sucks. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does. I know it's been 20 years since my older brother passed away.
Really.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
it'd been that long.
I know it doesn't seem like it, not at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, I believe fancy, isn't it? 21 years this May. 21. crazy to think about that, because I mean, there was, us kids, man, there was 5 of us,
Mhm.
and, Fancy's the oldest. What? There's 15, 16 months between her and our brother, and then there was 16 months between him and I, and then 2 just a month shy of 2 years between my sister and I, and then there was 2 years between her and our baby brother.
Yeah.
So, we were a boom, 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 boom.
Right.
May 1st, 2003. So it's coming up as a 21, 21-year mark.
Mhm. Yep.
Crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. Well, and I always say too that we were all, I was separated. There was 5 of us. I was the middle. I was adopted, and then 5 years later, they found their permanent home.
Right.
So when we were all reunited, of course, it's on the phone constantly, and chat, 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 and fly
Mhm.
out. And what was it? 2 weeks? I think it was 2 weeks after I had talked to my sister on the phone. We fly out there, and our brother had passed away 3 months to the day that I had talked to my sister
Mm.
for the first time in all those years. And so I always say, and I mean, I was grief stricken. Okay, we all were. It was horrifying, and it was probably the best and worst
Right.
flight I've ever had to take.
Right.
I cried
Now,
the whole way, you know,
how did
because
you find them or they find you?
I found them, of course.
And how did you do that?
Oh, okay. Look, look, look. And this is probably where, like, because I have found a few other people's loved ones who, were adopted or whatever. Well, back then we didn't have the internet quite like we do today.
Mhm.
Now it'd probably be a whole lot easier. Um, but for a long time, I used to just call a bunch of numbers because I knew our birth name.
Right.
And this was just a lot of getting, because, mind you, this was '03. If anybody remembers how the internet was in '03.
Mhm.
Um,
Dial up.
yeah. You got mail, 20 minutes later,
Mhm.
you know.
Exactly.
But I did a lot of researching on the computer, and I had called several different people, and I had finally gotten in touch with our birth family, and it was through a genealogy site.
Mhm.
I pulled up a family tree, and I said, "Oh my gosh," because I saw us all listed on there, and I,
Mhm.
I look, and I'm like, "Who is this? They've got to be related somehow, right? Why else would they have the family tree up?" And so I said, "Okay, let me contact this person." And I contacted him, and he put me in contact with the aunts, and I was able to talk to our birth mom, and um, they were able to give me enough information that I was able to look up names in the other state, and I just started calling. And I
Mhm.
just so happened, this was the miracle of it all, was I just so happened to call this one number, and our birth mom had dated this guy's sister years ago.
Mhm.
So I call this number because I'm like, hey, you know what? They should know where these kids are if they're still in that area, right? Well, we were adults at the time, but well, his nephew just so happened to be there. He was actually there just on vacation. He was a fireman and he no longer lived in that state. And he just happened to be there on a 2-week vacation. And he was really nice. And I talked to him and, I was like, naming their names. And, of course, I didn't have their adoptive name, their last name.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, you know what? Let me look around. I'll do some research. Call back. I said, okay. And he says, give me, I gave him my number. If you find anything, he was going to call me. Well, I ended up calling back the next day. The uncle, thank God I hadn't talked to him the first day because I probably would have never called that number back. He was rude as hell.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and I go, oh, there's a reason why I didn't talk to you the first time because the one I needed to talk to was his nephew.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, well, I hung up the phone after he was so rude. And a couple days go by. And I was still kind of calling, trying to, figure out. But that name was the one name that I had from a guy that she had dated.
Mhm.
And come to find out, it was a couple days later, we had taken our two oldest kids and their two best friends to Busch Gardens. And we didn't take the babies. We had just taken the older ones because we were doing it for the older kids.
Mhm.
Um, and they had gone on a ride because my daughter's best friend, her parents went with us as well. And they had all gone on a ride, and my two kids were with me. Everybody else had gone on a roller coaster and just didn't want to go. And we were standing there waiting, and we had gone to go on the swings, and I get a call, and I checked the phone. It was a voicemail, and so I'm like, check the voicemail, and it was him. And he's like, "Hey, I need you to call me." And I was like, "Okay, I'll call him back when we get done with the ride." So we go on the ride, and we're done. So I call him back, and then he just tells me, um, I know who they are. I've got their names, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. And he goes, I hate to be the one to tell you this like this over the phone. And I was like, oh crap. And I've never in my life prayed so hard, so quick, so fast.
Mhm.
Okay. I was,
Mhm.
please don't let him say it. Don't let him say it. Don't let him say it because I knew something had happened. I just knew something
Yeah.
had happened. And so I was just like, please don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. And he had said, I found it through your brother's obituary.
Mm.
And I just, oh my God. And I was trying to keep it together because my kids were there and my husband wasn't there. And I talked to him a little bit more and I was like, can I call you back? He goes, yeah, just call me back, and later. And so we had, you know, gone and we were waiting for them to come off the ride. And I was trying so hard I was trying really, really hard not to cry, but the
Mhm.
tears just fell. And my son looked at me and he's like, Mom, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And my daughter looks and she goes, no, Mom, you got tears. I said, no, it's just allergies. And they both looked at me and, they were like 10 and 12, something like that. And they're like, like, yeah, right. And so when my husband and them all came walking up, I just broke in the middle of an amusement park, right? And my husband runs over to me. He's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "It's my brother. It's my brother." And I always called him Junior. And I
Mhm.
was like, "It's Junior. It's Junior." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "He's gone. He's gone." And I like literally, he had to pick me up and fall to the ground. It was horrible.
Mhm.
And people are looking at me like I have a hideous disease. And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh." But I think about that now and I think, how horrible is that to find out something like that in an amusement park, right?
Mhm.
But I don't think of it as horrible now. I think he wanted me to know. Life is fun. Enjoy it.
Right.
Ride the rides. Ride it all the way out and have a blast. You know. So
He
I
brought
just look at it like that. You know.
right. He brought you and your siblings, your other siblings, back together. Because
Yeah.
if
Through.
they hadn't found the obituary, you may not have ever found them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think he was instrumental in that. And
Yeah.
what's really sad is that this guy didn't realize it. He saw the obituary on his uncle's table,
Wow.
and that's how he connected it. So, you know, I I
Thank you,
just
Indica.
mm, oh, thank you, Indica. Yeah, yeah, he looks down. I think he does, and you know, like I said, my youngest is named after him, and my other brother as well. So, um, yeah, but it was, you know, it was great to be back together, and you know, we had the news there in our face with a big old camera. We were on the, you know, I don't know what time their news is there. Ours on the East Coast was 6 o'clock, but they were West Coast, so I don't know if it was earlier.
I wonder if you could ever find that clip.
We had it on VHS somewhere, I thought. We probably could contact the news station and get it, but it's all
Mhm.
right. We don't need to do that
Yeah.
because you know we're oh, you know.
Fancy said, "Remember the first call."
Yeah. Oh, the first call. See, fancy. Yeah, yeah, I called her and you know, not knowing like, okay, I don't know how much she remembers. I don't know if she even wants to have contact with me. You know, I who knows. You know, and I just thought, well, the worst thing is, you know, I'll just say hey, and you know, she won't talk to me anymore. You know, that's the worst thing that could happen, right? And so I called her, and her boyfriend at the time answered the phone, and he goes and he wakes her up. She had been sleeping. She's working nights, and um, he's like, "Hey, I think it's your sister on the phone." So she gets on the phone. And she's like, "Candy," and I go, "No, no, it's not Candy." And I said, "I don't know if you remember. You know, you had a younger sister." And I said, "That was adopted," and she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "It's me." I said, "It's me." And I, you know, said my birth name, and I says, "But that's not my name anymore. It's Rebecca." And she's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh."
I can see
She,
her now.
yeah, she could tell you her part a little bit better because she was all over the place. Give me some clothes because she was wrapped in a sheet. Yeah, yeah, those, you know, yeah. Yeah, I remember that first call, and I remember the first call with my brother too. Um, he was hilarious. Because I knew as soon as the phone rang, you know, I was like, oh, okay, this is, you know, and I could just tell when I picked up, I go, hello, you know, he's like, hello, you know, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, uh, don't know really how to say this, you know, I was just cracking up, you know, and he's like, well, you know, well, I guess, you know, I'm your brother, your baby brother. Do you remember me? You know, like it was like, yes, of course I remember you. And he goes, well, this is odd because you know I feel bad because I don't remember you. And I was like, you were 6 months old.
Right.
I wouldn't expect you to. He was like, oh, okay. You know, like, that cracked me up. I was like, I'm not, you're not gonna remember me, you know, at 6 months old. He was just a baby. Well, he wasn't a little baby though. He was a big old baby. He was big. But he was 6 months old at the time, so you wouldn't have remembered. How would you have remembered that?
Fancy said, I asked if you had dark curly hair and if you snored.
And I said, yes and no.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. But I say it's never woken me up. How would I know? And it's never bothered me. I did when I had my sleep study done. The doctor did say, "Well, you do snore. We can do something about that." And I just looked at him because the surgery he was talking about, I was like, "No, that sounds a little painful, and I don't think it's necessary." And I was like, "Look," I said, "it doesn't, it doesn't wake me up. It doesn't bother me any. So what's the problem?" And he's like, "Good point." Yeah, Earth. It was nice, and I'm glad I had those memories of memories of that. Hey, cracking asses, what you cracking tonight? I'm sure she's somewhere cracking something. Can you hear me, Charlie girl?
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh, okay, you're fine, you're fine. I just didn't know if my headphones had gone doo doo. They've been disconnecting automatically on me for some reason. I don't know. Cracking asses, have you been out there causing some trouble on the YouTube streets?
I cannot tell a lie. I had to go get some more strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you like the casino, huh? Oh yeah. I did. Okay, look, I like to watch the YouTubers that go to the casinos and video record it
Yeah.
all. I love that.
Mhm.
And true story, actually, this is really sad now that I think about it. Fancy. Um, really sad considering the airport that Fancy flew into this time was right in a casino town, and she flew out of there too. This is the first visit that we have done that we have not gone to a casino. That is terrible. I can't believe that. We did not go to a
Well,
casino this time.
you had other things more pressing that you were dealing with.
Yeah, yeah, but still, man, we've
Mhm.
gone every time we've gone to a casino except for this last visit. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Dragon Acid says she stays in trouble. You be staying in trouble. She's like, I stay in trouble. Yeah. Mm-mm. Well, when you wander around these YouTube streets, that's about all you can do is stay in trouble.
Yep.
Anywhere you go, somebody's going to see you and they're going to get mad because you're in somebody else's chat. And they're going to be saying, "What are you doing here? You hang out over at such and such a place," and blah, 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 blah. Oh, my word. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Sad. Yeah. Earth. Yeah. That's sort of, that's why I said I was going to get with my sister. And, because I do think that it needs to be addressed. And the prevention, I think, does start with the mental illness, mental health. I shouldn't say mental health crisis. I think a lot of things I do. That's just my personal opinion on it. It's just where I sit and how I see things. Um, and anytime somebody doesn't see things the way I see it, it's okay. We're all able to have our own opinions and views. That's what makes us individuals.
Right.
Just we have to respect each other, and that's how I feel about that. But um, from where I see it, I think the rise in the healthcare crisis, mental health crisis, I definitely think that we're seeing it's really showing. And whether there's a rise in it, I, I, I don't really know if it's a rise or if it's just, you know, I kind of feel like there is a rise in the mental health crisis. And then there's also a rise of awareness that it's going on, that it's out there because of the internet, because of social media, and how things are, how information is transmitted now. But like I've always felt this way, and I've had people say no, that they didn't agree with me on it, and I'm like, okay, but to me, if somebody goes and shoots up a school, or walks into a building and starts shooting people, right? Or, like the hotel in Vegas where supposedly there's a guy, how many ever people it was, shoots up a whole crowd at a concert, right? There, to me, is something seriously wrong with someone doing that. And I would even take it further and say, when you go and you point a gun at someone and you don't think twice about ending their life, even if it's just one single person, um, unless it's like self-defense, right? Like I can understand self-defense, but doing that would give you, it would, if I had to do that, I would do it to protect my kids, my family. I would do it if I had to, but I would need some serious counseling after that. I would be mentally disturbed if I had to take somebody's life.
Exactly.
And, to me, I look at it like if you're able to do that, there's a mental issue there.
Right.
Nobody in their right mind can go and shoot up a school of children and go into places. Just my opinion. Um,
Hi,
and
Amanda.
hey Amanda, um, same thing with suicide. I mean, it's definitely an issue. I just, like I said, I would just like for the whole taboo to be taken off of it, and you know, and then there's the part two is you can do the suicide prevention, but there's the ones that you don't know. Like with our brother, there's so many people who didn't know, they didn't see it coming. They were shocked. We have not found one person yet that said, "Oh yeah, we totally expected that," or "Yeah, we kind of saw some red flags." Um, I haven't found one yet. Now, so I think the issue is too for me, like I said, is how does that look for people? That's frustrating. And I'm not saying that it would make it any easier. I don't mean it, but it's almost like, you know, if somebody had said, "Yeah, you know what, he was really depressed," or "We saw some signs," and then it would be like, "Okay, well, what happened?" But then, it's just the not having the answers, which, like I said, I'll never have them, so it's okay. I've come to terms with that. It's okay. It's just it does look different.
You will someday, though.
Yeah, it just looks different. Hit me out of the blue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, they got to be up at 8 a.m. Yeah, Magpie, that's very true. There are not enough providers. Um, and here's the thing too. This is another subject we could cover. Um, Mental health crisis for children is a huge problem. Huge problem. We've got a couple kiddos, one in particular, um, that we have struggled for years to get help for. And we're in the process of it. We've got him in, being seen, but it's not enough. It's not what he's needing. It's just, you know, it's so far what we've been lucky enough to get into. And it is a struggle because when I tell you we have people, because it's post adoption, we have post adoption services. So we have a worker that we work with, because you can opt to bring post adoption services in, and we had to do that with this one kiddo. And they help you to find services that are needed and this, that, and the other, and they can come and go to your ARD meetings, whatever happens, they can help you out. And it has been a struggle to find mental health for children.
Which is ridiculous.
It is. It really is. It's been very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Fancy, I don't know how you do it, honey. You have a very stressful and taxing job.
Oh, cracking asses. I'm sorry. No, we, like I said, our other brother passed away from a drug overdose, and we're coming up on the 21-year mark of that. And then our brother who just 4 months ago, you know, yeah. And I know some people aren't real close with their siblings. I get that. Some people aren't, they're like, oh, like what? Uh, How would you not be devastated? But I don't know. Fancy and I talk like every day. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like I said, it's taboo. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but that's okay. And I think when we do things like that, we'll make sure that we put it in the title because I think, oh no, almost a year, so you're really fresh. You're really fresh into it, huh? Yeah, yeah. A year doesn't seem, and it's weird how time is for me, and I think about the loss and, it's like, you say it's been 2 weeks. It wasn't that long ago. It and in my mind, I think the way I've kind of seen it and felt it was the more time that went by, the further I felt they were away. You
Right.
know, yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah, and then you think, yeah, but it hasn't been that long. When for me, when I think about it, and I'm like, okay, it's been 4 months. It's been a while. Um, in one aspect, I feel like it's, oh my gosh, it's been 4 months.
Mhm.
And but then your heart just feels like, no, it was just last night,
Right.
you know. So, oh no, cracking asses. That's, oh my gosh. You know what, cracking asses. I think I heard about your sister, but I didn't realize you lost your brother. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Do you have more siblings, or was that? And I think this is going to sound crazy too, but like I said, my mind's a scary place to be sometimes. But for me, with my there's just a lot that plays into it. Um, but because we were separated, my kids didn't know my older brother, so I grieved that completely alone because they did not know him. They just knew mom's upset. Um, and they felt for me as far as that went. But this one, my baby brother, that was the uncle, like
Right.
I said, he was the they do all kinds of stuff. Um, and he wouldn't hesitate. Hey, come on, let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Um, and they felt that loss. And that was horrible for me because I didn't want my kids to hurt.
Right.
But in another way, it helped for me to not be drowning in my grief because I
Right.
had to turn off my grief for a moment to help my children. And then, we were able to we go through it together. So mommy mode kicks in and it's like, okay, you shut yours down for a minute because your kid here is really upset. So that kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's, but yeah, those are just some subject, you know. Hey, Nico, some subject matters that, and like I said, for our childhood, and I'll talk to Fancy more about it, but, just kind of some of the things that did happen to us as children. And I know those are going to be hard ones because some people are very triggered by things like that, and that's okay. But I do think that maybe there are some people out there who may, you know, it may help them in some kind of way. I don't know. Um, and we have talked about some pretty touchy things, because we are coffee talk with shining survivors over here,
Right.
and and that's not because we're like, oh, feel sorry for us guys. No, 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 no. We're on the other side of this, okay? Like, we had some crap happen to us and we went through hell, but we're on this side of it and we're okay and we're good. So
Of real
we
life.
just, yeah, yeah. And it's just if anybody else is just going through it or had gone through it, and maybe just having somebody who will listen or whatever. Yeah, or that's true. The constant bullying, and you know, I know we laugh about things over here because certain things are really really funny, um, but it really isn't in a way to try to bully somebody and be cruel and mean to them. It's like, look, man, you got to admit that's funny. Like, think about what you're doing. Um, but yeah, online stuff is really getting serious too. I'm really cautious of what my younger kids do and who they're talking to, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, and my older kids, I think I hope I've raised them good enough where they're okay. They usually they don't appreciate things like that, so I know they don't partake in bullying anyone. That's not
Right.
their thing. My kids all have pretty good amount of empathy and compassion for people.
They
So,
sure do. You did a
um,
fine job.
well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope. Um, we still got these young five ones, and you know what, this younger five, I'm not sure about. I'm really questioning. Okay, little man, I think he's gonna be all right. One might be okay. But hey, four. Look, if we only have four bad ones out of 12, yeah, we all right.
They're gonna be
No,
just fine.
yeah, I think they will. I think it's just hard moments, and you know, you have one that's going through some really hard times, and it's trickling down to the other ones because at the moment he's the older one that they're looking up to, and they're seeing his actions, and that's how kids are.
Yeah.
So I do have faith that he's going to be okay, and I do hold on to that hope that if not, I don't know, man. I've never had to visit any of my kids in a prison, but I really hope not. That's my goal, is to keep you out of prison. Just look. I'm not even saying you have to be. I don't care what they do as long as they're happy in life. That's all I want for my kids.
Exactly.
Be happy and
100%.
enjoy life. Yeah. So you don't have to be some rocket scientist. You know.
No.
Although I do have one that's kind of it's kind of what he does. Um, but I have one kiddo who does number crunching.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, got another two kiddos that were in the medical field, and you know, um, one in management, and the Navy dude. The newest
Right.
Navy dude. So his whole goal is to get in, get his education, and he wants to be a teacher
Right.
and a
That's
coach.
awesome.
So yeah. So is he going to make the most money in the world? No.
But he's
And you
gonna be
say
happy doing what he's doing.
exactly right. He's gonna love it. So, and that's exactly where his personality is. He is
Mm-hmm.
just he's just this, oh, sweetheart, and just loving and nurturing, and
Yeah.
so hey, the oldest 7 are doing great. They're doing great, you know.
Mhm.
So these younger 5, fingers crossed. You know, I've always said just walk across the stage and graduate college, you know, high school. You know,
Right.
7 so far have. You know, there's ones he's got 3 in just a few months, 3 years and a couple months left. You know, I'm like, please, fingers crossed. You know,
Mhm.
um, fingers crossed. He makes it. He makes it. So. Yes, cracking asses. We did. Well, we saw that one, and then the one. No, we're not going to do this pitter patter back and forth with anybody, okay? But I will say this, and anybody listening that's going to be offended, I'm sorry, but this is the truth. Um, it was told to us the other night when there was a live that apparently Purple was going on about Jenna and called her the C word, and then said she did not. And they were jerks. It wasn't the poo, it was the jerks who put it out. That's right, the jerks. Um, put one out highlighting where it had been said. And, you know, highlighting where it had been said, no, I didn't call her that. And it's like, but you did. You don't remember calling her that? I don't. Okay, you know. But yes, we saw those.
I do.
This the slashing of the canvas was
Mhm.
classic. It's like, holy moly. Well, the jerks did a good video too now. They're kind of competition for poo there because that was good when they pieced it together and said, look, you did say it. And they collapsed it down to less than 4 minutes. So just, you don't have to lie about it. You did it. You did it. If you don't remember, then just say, well, I don't
Well,
remember. I don't, you know.
and that's what I think. I think she didn't remember it, but you know, she was convinced that she didn't say it, but I just think she forgot, or you know, she didn't remember saying it.
Well, then one could always argue. Again, listen, Charlie girl, you know me. Okay, listen, I'm I'm the one who says, well, one could always argue this, you know. One could
Mhm.
argue that perhaps you shouldn't be so comfortable calling names if you're not going to remember what you said.
Yeah. That's a bad one right there. I don't ever call anybody that word.
Yeah. You see Kraken Ass's comment.
Uh-huh.
Exactly, Kraken Asses. You weren't in here the other night. I said, you know what? I don't even think there was a painting on that, was there? Because it looked like it was a blank canvas. I could not see anything on it. And I thought,
Maybe it looked blank.
yeah. And I'm like,
I mean, she could at least just drew some stick figures on there, you know.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Something, you know, make it look like it. I mean, it really looked blank to me. Hey, yeah, Nico, it was the same live. It was like 4 minutes later or something. She's like, no, I never
It
called you
just
that.
looked like she was mad at the canvas.
Yeah, she took it on that poor canvas. That poor canvas. Slashimoto. Slashimotos. Well, I mean,
That's funny. I don't care who you are.
it is. It's funny.
And clever. We were like, man, why couldn't we have come up with
Slashimotos.
that?
We may eventually have. I don't know. What was it? Jenna kept saying, she's like, what was she saying? Hashy slashy or something
hmm.
from SpongeBob.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think if you're gonna do something like that, you know, when you do certain things, people are gonna go, "Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
this person's crazy."
Well, I
And
mean, it was clearly done for theatrics.
yeah, oh
Um,
yeah. And, I mean, this some of
Unnecessary.
you some of you may hate me for this. Oh Lord, what is she gonna do now? Then you see it. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah, there you go. SpongeBob said the hash slinging slasher.
Yes.
So does Jenna's girls. SpongeBob is always on their TV.
Yeah, they like SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, you know what? Cracking Ass's poo does catch all the dirty deeds. Yeah, they do catch a lot of them. Well, don't be doing the dirty deeds if you don't want them to be caught. You know, don't do it. If you go out there calling people names like that, well, admit that you did it. Well, and that's the thing I don't understand. Like you said, maybe she really truly did forget. I don't know. Um, I it is what it is, you know. But there's times somebody says I said something, I'll be like, I don't think so, and I'll be like, I'll go back and watch the live, but I don't think I would ever. I don't think I said that, you know. And I'll go back and watch it and be like, see, I didn't say that, you know,
Right.
or hey, what if I did? You know, it's well, most of the time I'd be like, I never said that. I would never do. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that because what if I did? And I'll say I don't remember saying
Yeah.
that. I really don't.
Right.
If I did, I apologize. I'll go and check it out, you know. But that's why I'm like, well, what if I did say that? You know, and there's times too, somebody says, well, so and so said this on your live. Well, I don't remember it. I really don't remember him saying that. But I'm not going to sit there and call somebody a liar and say, no, they never did say that. I'll be like, I'll go back and listen. I know you've heard me say that, Charlie
Well,
girl.
here's the thing, though. I mean, you can't control what anybody says on your
No, you
panel
can't.
or in your chat. You know.
No, no, you can control yourself.
Right.
And I'll say this too, Charlie girl. You tell me if I'm wrong with this. I really see, seeing a few things. And one of the things is we always say we don't care where somebody goes. You can go and support whoever you want to, right? Anybody can go in somebody's chat if they want to. It is not for any of us to say somebody shouldn't be in somebody else's chat,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
But the channel holder has all the power with that. If you don't want somebody in there, you tell your mods or you or whatever, you block them. You say you're not coming in here, right? Um, but if you're going to say, like, if I'm going to sit here and tell people, oh yeah, they're more than welcome to come in. I'm sorry that, it's fine. They're fine. But you're going to block other people. Don't get butt hurt if those other people are in somebody else's chat and you don't like it. Hold
Hmm.
on. They're not coming in here and being rude. That's your channel is your channel. Somebody else's channel is their channel. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
And I do see that a lot happening where they're, well, they shouldn't be over in so and so's. Oh, they have so and so in there. Why does it matter? What does it matter for? You know?
So, called double standards.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it should be okay to go anywhere. I know I had somebody message me, a couple of people, so and so and so and so, and I was like, they've been in their chat before. What's the problem? And it's like you can go watch the lives. They've been in our chat before. Well, I mean, it's not like it's brand new, you know. But
Mhm.
whatever. Oh, there you go. Earth is an open channel, open panel. That's good. What's your channel? I don't know. Oh yeah, well, they've already slept for the night. If they're just getting up, they've already slept for the night. She's gonna be tired tomorrow. Well, today I guess, depending on where you're at. Man, I know I've got to. Sucks. You know, I worked nights this last week. This week I'm working days.
Oh Lord,
I know. Well, I'm getting too old for this. I
your
don't know if I can keep
circadian
doing this.
rhythm is messed.
Bad. It's bad.
Uh-huh. Oh, I couldn't do that.
Thank you, Fancy. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know if I can do it much longer. Like I said, I
Right.
used to be able to flop back and forth easily. No, it's like, oh man, but it's all right. It's a paycheck coming in.
Lord, was that last night? You were sitting there and you're like, "Oh my God, what time is it?"
Oh, Thursday.
Oh my God.
It was Thursday, yeah, because I didn't realize so much time had passed. I'm sitting in the hotel room and I'm like, do, 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 because I had had my shower, got my hair done, my makeup done, I'm good to go, you know, dressed, ready to go. All I had to do is put my shoes on. So I was just laying on the bed, just sitting on my heating pad, lily bed, just chilling, playing the game, Quiz
Uh-huh.
Planet. And last I looked, it was like 8 something, you know. And I'm thinking
Mhm.
only a few minutes had gone by, and I just so happened to pull my screen down and look at the time, and 9:46. I gotta go. I'm supposed to be there in 14 minutes, which I was only like not even 5 minutes from it. So I had time, but I just tried to be there earlier.
Right.
Um, 'cause I got the management part of it you got to do and all that crap for that contract. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was all right though. Yeah, open chat, open panel. That's good, good, good. Yeah, we kind of run that here as long as people don't, our one thing here. And I say our because there's like a group of us over here. Um,
Mhm.
we definitely, we just say don't be rude. We try not to do, and we've done some of the drama. We're not gonna lie, but we and we more clap back is what it is. Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna come at
Right.
us and you're gonna say a certain amount of things, and we are gonna come on and say something and address it because you know what,
Yeah.
we have that right to stand up
Right.
for ourselves and say we're not doing it, and here's
Right.
our answer to you. Now, some of it we do choose to ignore. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Mhm.
And there has been quite a bit that we have just let go and ignored. But as long as people come in and they're respectful, I don't care. You know,
Right.
um, even if they're rude in somebody else's chat, as long as they're not rude to one of us, um, it's okay. You just come in and we can be adults and be civilized. And if somebody you like is don't like is in here, well, block them and don't talk to them then. You know,
Or just
um,
leave. I mean, good Lord.
yeah,
What? I mean, there's so much more things in life to worry about than the bullshit.
yeah. Um, Fancy, put on all chat. You're probably on top chat. Yeah, maybe she blocked you. No, she didn't block you. No. Shining, you heard I was a Las Vegas girl showgirl dancing your buns off. Who told you that? Who's spreading my info around town? Who is talking and
No, I
spreading?
think. I
Somebody
think
doxed
she's
me.
confused. That's Eloise.
Somebody is doxing me. Did they happen to tell you which casino I worked at down there? If they say the Riviera, it's old news. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what, Fancy, it's done that to me a few times too, where I was on all chat and it goes to top chat for whatever reason. Maybe because I had to back out and do something, I don't know. But I'll be seeing somebody and then all of a sudden you don't, and it's like all chat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're just kidding? Okay, okay. I thought somebody was doxing me, girl. I can't help it. I tried to, you know what? I tried to go for the Rockettes,
Uh-huh.
and they said I was too good for that. So I ended up in Vegas on the strip.
Right.
I was stripping on the strip. I wasn't stripping on the strip, but I was dancing on the strip.
She was doing her crafts on the strip.
Yeah. Oh, cracking asses is a showgirl, huh? Huh. Interesting. You know what? She's the showgirl. Cracking asses is a very suitable name for that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sure is.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. Now we know how she got her YouTube handle.
Right.
She's the showgirl. Cracking that ass. Crack that ass. Boom, boom. Oh, wait. That's the seedy part of Vegas.
Uh-huh.
The movie part of Vegas. Well, Vegas is full of that stuff, man. I kid you not. First time we went to Vegas, it was for pool, right? On a
Mhm.
pool league. And they had told us, they warned us and said, hey, when someone comes walking up to you on the street and they're trying to hand you something, don't take it. Like, what? And they're like, yeah, because it's dirty magazines, right? And they have little cards and they'll slap them in their hand, chip, 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 try to hand it to you. And I swear they must get paid by how many they hand out, because they'll have, it's like a little piece of card, like a little tiny flyer. And
Uh-huh.
those that they don't hand out, they'll hang on a chain link fence somewhere. Just poke it in there. So like, you must get
What's
paid for
the
that. That's why you're
purpose?
not going to take it back, huh?
What's the purpose?
It's naughty stuff
But what's the purpose?
to drum up business for naughty stuff.
Okay, what do you mean?
The nasty sex numbers and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, the bad stuff.
Yeah.
The fun stuff. I mean, let's get real. But
Mhm.
a friend of mine who we went out there together. Um, she was like 73 at the time, and apparently she wasn't paying attention when it was sold to us, and we talked about it. Like, I guess she forgot. I don't know. And we're walking along, and they go to hand it to her, and I was like, "No!" I go to you like this slow mo, pull her hand down, don't take it. She took it.
Oh
And
Lord.
I just about had.
Well, look, she was probably ready for a little action.
Well, maybe she was, but she was English too, from
Mm-hmm.
England, And she's, oh my goodness, And I was like, no. And she's like, what? And she's looking at me, and she's like, that guy's handing it to me. I was like, don't you remember? You're not supposed to. Okay, So she looks at it and she's mortified. I said, I told you. I'm trying to tell you, don't be taking anything from him. I
Right.
guess, it was hilarious. So she didn't do it again. She did not do it again. I was like, I didn't think so. I
Oh,
didn't think so. Yeah. Oh, you got your name as a dare and you just kept it. Oh, Lola. Lola. Cracking ass is going to work tonight. Is Lola.
mhm.
Lola's a real good screen name too.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in your line of work, Charlie girl, you ran crossed a few Lolas.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't your name something else? I mean,
Yeah, but we won't get into that.
okay. We'll just say Kitty. We'll call you Kitty.
Kitty purr purr.
You get choked up over there.
Mhm. Well, I think it's the combination of that and the biofreeze I'm putting on.
Oh no. Yeah. Get into that. Like, rub it on the old bio cream.
Uh-huh.
It works really good too though.
It does. It really does. And I like
Yeah.
using the roll-on because then
Oh.
you get it on your hands and you can
Mm-hmm.
actually massage with it as you're putting it on.
Oh. Well, what other biofreeze do they have besides the gel? Do they have a spray or something?
Yeah, they have a pump that's got like a gel.
Uh-huh.
Um, they have like a squeeze bottle.
Yeah.
Um,
I've always used the gel
well, this
when
is
I
a
get it.
gel. But it's like a roll-on, like a deodorant roll-on, but it's biofreeze.
Oh, wait. Okay, I get what you're saying. Because you're
Yeah,
like, you can massage it in. You massaged it in with the roll on.
yeah, and you don't get it on your
Okay.
hand.
Yeah. Yeah, because it does kind of suck when your hands start tingling.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Uh-oh, Lord,
course,
we started something.
the
Kitty purr purr.
sounds like Madame. Yeah, uh-huh. It's about right, too. Look at her. Mm-hmm. Charlie girl knows she calls the shots.
Well,
Cracking
not
that.
anymore.
Cracking that cattail. Get out there, ladies. Make me some money.
Cracking that house slipper.
I bet you, Indica Sunshine is over there egging you on the whole way.
Yep.
Meowza. Yeah, meow. Purr, purr, purr. Yeah, that's another whole live. Look, oh, the toys and the magical things you do.
All the what?
Magical things you can do.
With what?
The toys, keep up.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
What do you think? Maybe I said something else.
No, I thought you said toys, but I was making sure it's what you did say.
Oh yes, ma'am, it is. That's what I said. I wasn't changing gears on you or anything. You get the high powered, you know.
Oh my God.
Well, there's some pretty far out ones out there, I gotta tell you.
Oh yeah.
Look, this just took a turn for the worse here.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe we should get off that subject matter, you know. But it is late night. I mean, this is when all the bad stuff happens, you know.
Mhm. Right.
Fancy, where did you go?
She on the down low.
Oh, well, Crack Nancy's
Well,
had to be good. She knows you can get that whip right back out.
all I can say about Fancy is if she goes to Taco Bell, you know what's coming after.
It's a way to her heart.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfie over there want to get lucky. He's like, "You gonna go to Taco Bell, baby?"
Uh-huh.
Why, yes, I do. And she said, "If you get me something other than the $5 box meal, you might get real lucky tonight."
Oh
I'm just
Lord.
kidding. I'm just kidding. She's not even up here to defend herself. Oh no,
Oh
Cracking
my
Ass
God.
said, both cheeks are red still. She must have got you good then.
Uh-huh.
They're still red. She got you good. Mm-hmm. Oh man, girl, I got to get up and go to that birthday party tomorrow.
Yep.
A bunch of little kids running around.
We're doing the family birthday, with the whole
Yeah,
family, the extended
yeah.
family tomorrow night. So,
Oh. Well, ours is a big old. We do everything big around here. That's the crazy part.
well, yeah,
It's always, well, we got to because 12 kids, it's going to be big. Just the kids, just our kids alone. But
exactly.
the friends and everything come, and they're pretty much family. So we got a
And
wide
you wouldn't
variety.
have it any other way.
Nope, nope. I wouldn't. It's fun. It really is. You know,
Nancy, she trying
real
to start
Southern Belle.
rumors.
Said it, real Southern Belle. Yes, that's true, Nico. It's Taco Bell. Oh, you don't want the whip coming towards you, huh? Hmm. Well, I personally myself, I share that same opinion. Don't you be hitting me with no whip. I'm not into the whole the pain scene. Some
No,
people are, but that's just not my kind of thing. Nope,
nope.
nope, 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 nope. I don't do the you know pain or bondage.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Other people want to. That's great, man. That's on you. But yeah. And that's all I have to say about my sex life, y'all.
Oh.
No desire to do that.
Where the hell is
Ooh,
Iris?
I don't know. She's probably sleeping now. She's been getting up early. Her schedule's changed.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm,
But it's the weekend.
yeah, but still, I don't know. Maybe she getting lucky. I don't. Who knows?
Maybe.
If she come in this chat and see all this talk about all this, she feeling good. Like I'm out. I gotta go. My man. I'll wake him up. Wake that man up. Say hello. Hello, hello. Me personally, look, man, this is going to sound terrible, but look, me personally, I say do not wake me up for that crap.
Right.
Don't do it. No.
Uh-uh.
If I'm
Hell
sleeping,
no.
you better let me sleep. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's just where I stand with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my husband, not so much. He's wake me up anytime, baby. Like a holiday. you know, little Brianna, yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe good at it, but I'm good at it. Well,
Haven't heard that.
you hadn't heard that song?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I bet you had. Ooh, you're gonna take a bath with him, Epsom salt, huh? I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. You know what? I bet you if we play, look it up, you'll be like, oh, you know what? I have heard that.
Fancy always knows how to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Fake a headache. Yes, correct. Yes. Mm-hmm. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh, I think I got a migraine. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say it like this, and it's gonna sound terrible, but I've told my husband this before, and he doesn't like it when I say that's ridiculous. You know, I say, look, man, I can't have children anymore. I had a complete hysterectomy when I was 32. I got nothing left, nothing. Okay. The whole point of doing the naughty is to reproduce, and I am not trying to reproduce.
That's right.
hmm 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 He doesn't share that same opinion.
No, I bet he doesn't.
you know, Yep, chains and lipsticks. Yep. See, there's a lot of Rihanna you could listen to, Charlie girl,
Yep,
and be like, oh, okay, she dirty.
she is.
Hmm. Dirty, dirty.
You nasty, Rihanna. You nasty.
She likes it though.
Uh-huh.
Rihanna said it's good. Well, I know. Fancy's over there taking a bath. If I lived closer, I'd go knock on her door and go, not right now. We're kidding. She'd still go get in the tub. She's like, I'll
Uh-huh.
be out in a little bit.
Right.
Talk to me through the door. I'd be laying down on the floor talking under the door. That annoying little sister. Is your water hot enough still? Do you need some tea? You want another cup of coffee? Diet Dr. Pepper? Uh-oh, look. Ooh, she called you Miss Kitty Pepper. Hey, Nancy, just make sure you're glamming your clam in there, okay? She's a
Right.
fancy glam. That's right. She knows. She's going to go glam her clam. And leave the schlong alone. Don't even just worry about yourself tonight.
Defeats the purpose.
Exactly. Glamming the clam for it to get all clammy. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I said too much. Stop. Stop. You can, you can tell this is not a kid's channel, y'all. It's not a kid's channel. Always glam the clam. That's right, Fancy. Always glam it. Always be tip-top shape. When somebody else can smell your undercarriage,
Ew.
it is you got a problem.
Who said that?
You are I did.
Oh,
You
okay.
you are beyond needing to glam your clam.
Right. You need to
That means
and
you missed
blast
a few.
it.
You missed a few. If you shower daily, it should be all right. Or for crying out loud, the least you could do is get a bidet. Something.
Remember that Saturday Night Live skit when the smell down south got him breathing through his mouth. Massengill. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, I bet you know what? They probably wouldn't even put anything like that on Saturday Night Live now, huh?
Uh-uh.
Glitch the slits. Oh, you're gonna be glitzing it up, huh?
Oh, you ignorant slut. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. And what was the other one? Sweaty balls.
Shorty balls. Yep.
Sweaty balls. That's the one who's going to trial now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Going back again. They're gonna get him for that.
Well, right now
Watch.
the armorer is on trial.
Do you think if they pin it all on her, okay, which do you think it's going to do? Because they're trying to bring him up on charges. If they charge her, will that allow for his
I,
charges
I
to
mean, I
go
think
through?
it's two separate things. She was negligent in uh, loading and unloading and making sure that there were no live rounds in there, and he was negligent because of how he was handling it. I
Yeah.
mean, he pointed it at somebody and it went off and was a live round.
Well, he had to have pulled the trigger.
He did.
I
I
did
mean,
not have.
I don't think he knew that there was a live round in there. I just think he was playing around, and it just so happened that was the next round that came up.
Gotcha.
But they said
Yeah,
that
I don't think he
that
knew either.
that her she didn't have any training. Her father has been in the industry forever, and so she got hired by word of mouth. And he taught
Mm,
her supposedly everything she knows, which is not much, you know. has said that that everything was just in shambles. All the bullets
Yeah,
and the blanks and the dummies, they were all mixed together. Which there
but they
shouldn't
weren't.
have been any live rounds on that set whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
and there
Yeah,
were.
yeah. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. I do
Mhm.
like the what was the name of that person she had in her phone?
Oh
Gorilla
my
what?
god. Oh
You
my.
remember that? Talking about
I'll
undercarriages.
say the first 2 words, and that's all I'm gonna say, Gorilla Grip.
Gorilla Grip P, right? When in the P word, Gorilla Grip.
Gorilla Grip Kitty Pal.
Mm-hmm. And they had, I swear they just did that in court. They had to have a hard time not laughing.
I know.
And they said, "Could you read the name of that?" And I'm like, "Why?"
I would have been mortified if that was my phone.
I would have been too. I don't have anybody listed like that on mine, so I'm not going to now, just in case I ever
No.
have. I mean, oh my
And
gosh.
you know what would be really bad is if it was somebody that she didn't like.
Hmm.
She had them listed in her phone. Well, now they know that.
I know. Gorilla Grip. I mean, what the heck was that? Like an endearing name, or I
Right.
can't stand you? Like I
Mhm.
don't know. Interesting. I mean, you just never know what somebody has in their phone like that. I don't know. Yeah, Nico, that is one of those things. We've been kind of watching that, and a lot of questions there.
Well, the day before the shooting happened, the entire film crew quit.
Oh wow.
Um, so, it makes you wonder if somebody didn't try to set somebody up.
Yeah, but if you know what, and obviously, if that was the situation, it wasn't very hard because she did keep everything so discombobulated
Oh yeah.
that it was so easy for somebody to do that. Now,
Mhm.
did they mean to? Was that intentionally for that lady? No, I don't think so. If it was intended for someone, it seems like it would have been one of the other actors or actresses.
Right.
You know, either way, no live ammo should have been on the scene. She should have been checking that stuff. That means that live ammo got through and got put into the gun. So not only did you have it in your repertoire here, that you went so far as to loading it into the gun and you still didn't catch it.
Right.
Put the
The
drugs down.
safety
Put the drugs down.
their safety exactly. Their safety protocol consisted of looking at the bullet to see if it had a hole in it or shaking it to see if it rattled. Those 2 things
Mm.
meant that it was not a live round.
And obviously, it was not done.
Right.
You just,
Well well, the girl that helped her said that she would put more than one in her hand and shake them. Well,
oh
what
my
good is
goodness,
that doing?
because they shake together.
Right.
He probably will do time, but it'll be the minimal probably, and he'll be in some nice facilities.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be real hard,
I
which
don't
I don't
ever
know.
look for him. I think this is really taking a toll on him, and I
Yeah.
don't think he'll ever do any acting. I think he'll retire.
Well, if he's able to retire and not be prison bound. But I don't
Right.
know. Is there actually a sentence of involuntary manslaughter that there is not a jail or prison sentence to?
I don't I mean, I think it's up to the judge.
Is it? Mm,
Judge can do whatever, you know. I mean, there
mm,
are guidelines, but they can be as harsh or as lenient as they want to be, I think.
yeah. Yeah, because involuntary manslaughter. I don't know. I guess if they were to prove that like he intentionally did it somehow, then it wouldn't be involuntary
Well,
manslaughter.
I
But
just think all they have to do is prove negligence. And
Well, I don't know if it's that hard to do if you're pointing a gun at somebody, unless
exactly.
unless he's saying he didn't actually point it at her, he just held it up and didn't realize. I don't know. Like how would you? I'm sure they'll figure out a way to dodge it.
Right.
It'll play out, and we'll have to hear what they have to say. I guess. It
Mhm.
goes to court. So, it's just weird. I mean, they waited a long time to take him to court, didn't they?
Well, they initially charged him, I don't know with what, but then they dropped the charges.
Yeah.
Now now they are retrying him, but they're trying her first. And I think it's a slam dunk that she will definitely do time. And
Yeah.
she acts, she's got this air about her that she's not worried. You just tell she's not worried.
Because she thinks of who her daddy is and that they've got pull or something that,
Mhm.
she just may be one of these people that thinks it's not going to happen to me, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, but he doesn't seem so nonchalant about it.
Uh-uh.
And yeah, and Earth said, and to prove
Well,
that he
and
knew there was a live round in there. Exactly. I don't think he knew that. So, yeah,
well,
and the
I don't think it that they have to prove that he knew that there was a live round in there because they they tell them that they should treat every round as a live round.
mm,
You know,
true.
um, so the fact that he didn't do that to me shows negligence. But the director, or no, assistant director, and I had just heard this the other day. Uh, he pled guilty to a lesser charge, and he got probation.
Really.
So, mhm,
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I guess ultimately it came down because I think she was supposed to show him the rounds, you know, as she loaded them. Um, so he pled guilty and cut a deal, and he got probation.
Yeah. See, and that's interesting. He pled down, he got probation.
Yeah,
So if she had just pled down, she probably could have got probation too. I
right.
mean, if he was ultimately the one who had to check it or whatever, then he would have had more responsibility in it. I would think from
Hmm.
a legal aspect, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean anything's
yeah,
possible, Earth. Um, I just really do find it hard to believe that somebody would intentionally do that. I just think she was so unorganized and so nonchalant and flippant about everything, thinking that nothing was ever going to happen, you know, and
mm, I don't know if it was intentionally slipped. Well, I mean, somehow a live, at least one
but now
live
listen,
round
it
got
was
in there.
more than one. There was
See,
more than
that's
one.
That's what I was gonna say. It would have to be a whole thing, right? Like,
Mhm.
or multiple. Why would it be just one?
Well,
But if
okay, so here's another thing. They asked her where she got her ammunition. Well, they have um, a guy that she would get them from, and I think there were two different people that she got them from,
hmm
and she also brought ammunition from another set. So that may be where it
oh,
came from.
see, if that's the case, there's even more issues.
Mhm.
Either way, I mean, if they were planted there, then I would say that's another whole issue because you need to figure out why and who were those bullets, who were they directed to?
Mhm.
Because there's no way it was directed towards her. I'm telling you, it'd have to be one of the other actors there. And I mean, this unfortunately isn't the first time this has happened. You know, Bruce Lee, you know, or Bruce Lee's son. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, that to me that's intentionally directed towards that person. If you know that prop is going to be used, and during a scene,
Mhm.
then you know who it's going to be pointed at, right? So then I guess that would, I mean, to me, that would just raise another whole lot of questions there that need to be answered. Just saying, I'd want to know.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know that the truth will ever be told, I
yeah.
don't know that they'll ever figure it out, but I do think that she'll take the fall for it. And I think if she's found guilty, they will also find Alec guilty.
hmm Which he could just end up pleading down and getting a
And
light sentence.
do you know that they continued filming that movie? They
Are you?
completed it. Yes.
Oh no, are you serious?
Mhm. Sure did.
Ooh, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. mm, huh. I don't know if I don't know about that one. I don't know how I don't think I could go to a set knowing that I just accidentally
I
killed
couldn't
somebody.
either.
I, that might be what's weighing down on him so bad. You know,
Mhm.
who knows? Who knows? I'm sure he didn't intentionally. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he did. What if he did do it intentionally? Oh, shit, I don't know. That'd be sad. What if he's the one who actually put the? Ooh. Well,
Oh,
now
well,
if there was multiple other ones in there, then he didn't actually. I
I
would
just
doubt that.
I just think that she just was so unorganized and just grabbed a handful of whatever and didn't check them. And I think she had
Yeah.
maybe some of her own personal ammo in there, you know.
Oh, that could be it too. That could be it too. But I don't know.
Mhm.
That's just a pretty bad mistake to make.
Yeah, but I've not seen
Yeah.
her. Well, I take that back. She had shown no emotion, zero from day
Ooh.
one. But the guy that was um, the assistant director who took the plea,
Mhm.
they he was on the stand, and he was a puddle of tears.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, somebody died, and it was on his watch.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
she never, I don't think she ever dropped a tear, but you could tell that her eyes watered. She felt something there, but
Yeah. But not like he did.
no,
So that's probably why he got a lighter sentence too. He showed remorse.
right.
Maybe.
And
But
that's what
yeah.
I thought too. You need to show that jury that
Mm,
regardless of if it was your fault or it was an accident or whatever, that you're sorry that it happened. You know.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And see, I thought Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee both passed away the same way, which is odd. That to me is extremely odd.
Mhm.
Both being shot on set. So I was like, wasn't it both? Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. Oh, Nani, you can go ahead and use that. That worked. To me, it's reasoning. It's a
Mhm.
reasonable. It's only used for one thing. It's one purpose, and and
And you got a sign that says permanently closed.
exactly. Well, and I'll tell you this. My husband and I decided we had 5 children.
Good night,
We
Nico.
Good night, Nico. Um, we decided we weren't going to have any more kids, so he went and got fixed.
Mhm.
And then we decided we were going to have one more, baby number 6, right? And the other 6 we adopted, so we were good. So we go, we have one more. he goes and he gets fixed again. Because absolutely no more kids after that. So he got fixed again. And absolutely hilarious, which Fancy thought it was really, really funny. She was the one who pointed it out. She goes, I think it's really suiting that he got fixed twice, and 2 years later, you had a complete hysterectomy. Yes.
Mhm.
So, I was like, look, there really is no point in doing the deed because we're not, no.
That's
We,
amazing that they can reverse that.
yeah, yeah. And it worked. I mean, it worked because, boom, he got reversed 2 months later. I had a positive pregnancy test. It was crazy.
Wow.
Okay. And then he's 18 years old now. So,
Mhm.
but, it's all right. We don't need to practice. We don't need
Right.
a, rehearsal or anything anymore. We're done. You know, the
The
final performance has
the
already been
final curtain has closed.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yep. But you ready to end this? Because
Yep.
I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and
It's 2 your time, right?
yeah, and I need to get some sleep.
Yep. The gremlins will be roaming soon.
Oh yeah, they'd be like breakfast, and got a birthday breakfast to do. The big two. So
Mhm. Aw.
to make him 2 little pancakes or something. Well, not little ones, because can't throw any little food his way. He likes to eat.
Oh, yes, he does.
He likes his food. And
Mhm.
definitely difference between him and his cousin there, because
Right.
cracks me up because she eats more like a bird, and he's like, give me what she doesn't eat.
Right. Well, that's the way it happens, Little girls are more dainty, and boys are like
Mhm.
garbage disposals.
Mhm. Oh, he most certainly is. Oh.
All right. Good night,
Okay.
everybody.
All right. Good night. Good night. Love you.
Love you.
Okay. Oh, there it is. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you for joining us. And we will have some more serious subject matters coming up. And I'll warn everybody in the title that, hey, it's serious. You may not want to dip in. It's okay. Um, a fair warning of what they will be about, especially if they're a little bit triggering or hard for people. But, we definitely do a lot more fun lives, I think, than we do serious sad ones, You guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Cracking Asses, Earth, Fancy, anybody else who's here. And we will chat with you guys later, and have a great Sunday and great rest of your week. Talk to you guys later.